V seemed destined for greatness until he wasn't. He lived by the gun and ultimately died by one amidst the violence and chaos. He found a partnership in the rap game, notably with Lil Durk. I'm saying it's my brother twin. People almost mistook them for brothers despite their similar stories of growing up in poverty. They weren't related. Let's start by exploring the early lives of Lil Durk and King Val and how their paths crossed in the unforgiving streets of Chicago. Evil twins born Derek Banks on October 19th. 1992. Lil Durk grew up in the Englewood neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. The area was notorious for its high crime rates and gang activity, shaping much of Durk's early experiences. He faced numerous challenges growing up, including the incarceration of his father when he was just 7 months old. It was hardships like this that gave him the fuel to rise up from the slums of Chicago and grow his passion for music, which also gave him an escape from the harsh realities of his environment. On the other hand, King Val, born Devin Decohen Bennett on August 9, 1994, was raised in the infamous O Block area of Chicago. O Block, named after a fallen member of the local gang, was one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the city. Like Durk, Von's upbringing was also marked by violence and adversity. He lost several close friends to street violence and had multiple run-ins with the law from a young age. Despite these challenges, V's charisma and storytelling ability set him apart, and he began to make a name for himself in the local rap scene. The initial connection between Lil Durk and King Von was forged in the streets of Chicago, where their shared experiences and mutual respect for each other's talent brought them together. Durk, already an established figure in the Chicago rap scene, saw potential in the young and hungry Von. Durk took Von under his wing, offering guidance and support as V navigated the complexities of the music industry. Their friendship was not just about music, it was also about survival and loyalty. Both artists understood the importance of having someone they could trust in an environment where trust was a rare commodity. This mutual understanding and respect laid the foundation for a friendship that would go on to impact their lives and careers in profound ways. He had this to say about him at the Breakfast Club: cause he got a whole story behind him. Know what I'm saying? He from old block. Okay, I'm saying that should speak for himself but no, I'm saying he just real. No, I'm saying his music him just real. Just I with him. I'm saying it's my brother twin. As Lil Durk and King Von's friendship deepened, so did their influence in the music industry. Durk had already established himself as a prominent figure in the Chicago rap scene with hits like This Ain't What You Want and Like Me. His raw and authentic storytelling resonated with many who grew up in similar circumstances. By the time King Val started his musical journey, Durk was already a mentor figure guiding him through the complexities of the industry. In 2018, Durk signed Val to his label Only the Family OTF, a significant milestone that marked the beginning of their professional collaboration. V's debut mixtape, Grandson VA1, released in 2019, featured 2 tracks with Durk: Crazy Story 2, Zero In and Twin NM. These songs showcased their undeniable chemistry and set the stage for future collaborations. The mixtape was a commercial success, and V's storytelling prowess quickly garnered a dedicated fan base. Their artistic synergy continued with V's first studio album, Welcome to Obla. Released in 2020, the album featured 2 more collaborations with DIR, All These In and Down Me. The project was a critical and commercial success, further solidifying V's place in the rap game and highlighting the strength of their partnership. The authenticity and raw energy in their music resonated with fans who appreciated the genuine connection between the 2 artists. Only the Family involved Val 1 In and VA2, both featuring tracks with Durk and V. These projects allowed them to showcase their talents alongside other OTF members, further strengthening their bond and expanding their influence in the industry. Even after V's tragic death on November 6, 2020, their musical connection remained unbroken. Van's posthumous album, What It Means to Be King, and his mixtape, Leave on James, both featured appearances from Durk. These projects served as a testament to their enduring friendship and the impact they had on each other's lives. Durk's album, The Voice, released shortly after V's death, was a heartfelt tribute to his fallen friend. The cover art featured both artists with the words "Long Live Grandson" prominently displayed, a nod to Von's debut mixtape. The album included tracks like Still Trapping and Backdoor, which paid homage to Von and reflected the deep sense of loss. Durk felt their collaborations were more than just musical endeavors, they were expressions of their shared experiences and mutual respect through their music. Dirk and Von conveyed the harsh realities of their upbringing while also celebrating their resilience and brotherhood. Their friendship strength and through their artistic endeavors left an indelible mark on the rap industry and continues to inspire fans worldwide. The tragic passing of King Vo on November 6, 2020 shocked everyone who wasn't aware of his past, leaving a profound impact on Dirk. Von's death was a devastating blow not just to his fans and family but to Dirk, who had lost not only a collaborator but a brother. The bond they shared was irreplaceable and Dirk's grief was unmistakable. In the immediate aftermath of Von's death, social media was flooded with tribute posts from fans and fellow artists alike. Dirk's tribute was particularly heartfelt, referring to V as his baby bro, saying, "My twin gone, I love you baby bro D." Roy Dirk's response to Von's death extended beyond his music. He made a conscious decision to break the cycle of violence that had claimed so many lives, including V. Many fans urged Dirk to seek revenge, encapsulated in the phrase "slide for Vo." However, Dirk sort of addressed it with the following words: "You don't slide for your mans, don't kick no killer. __. Our way is F the evil side talk up. The truth is, while much is being said about Dirk seeking revenge for V, it's possible that V faced the consequences of his own actions. There's substantial evidence suggesting he might have been a serial killer. Whether you call it gangster life or something else, it is what it is. As a teenager, V found himself drawn into the violent world of gang life. He became a member of the Black Disciples, a gang with deep roots in Chicago's criminal underworld. The allure of power, respect, and protection offered by the gang was too strong to resist. Von quickly rose through the ranks, earning a reputation for his fearlessness and ruthlessness. It wasn't long before his name became synonymous with violence and retribution. One of the earliest incidents that cemented V's reputation was the killing of King Doc. A member of a rival gang was gunned down in a brutal attack that shocked the community. On April 28, 2012, a group of 4 men shot him as he walked into a convenience store. After being shot, Doc stumbled into a patch of tall weeds, where he lay undiscovered for hours before his 16-year-old cousin Modell McCambry eventually found him dead. The killing of King Doc was just the beginning. King Vo became an active Twitter user starting in June 2nd. He frequently tweeted about his street activities, seemingly unconcerned about incriminating himself. He openly claimed to be drilling in the name of O.D. Perry and compared himself and his best friend, fellow Oblock shooter Troy, to Phineas and Ferb. He warned rivals not to disrespect them, boasting about shooting people as if it were nothing. He tweeted about drilling since he was young and even expressed a desire to kill cops. On August 7, 2012, he tweeted that homicide is in the air and that it smells like a graveyard. In the early hours of the following morning, August 8, 2012, a group from O Block rumored to include King Vo and Troy was out looking for enemies. Dirty Raw Real named Tyrell Joshua, an older member affiliated with St. Lawrence Eberhort in Jersey City, was back in town and ended up being shot dead. He was found on a sidewalk on the first block of East 56th Street in Washington Park just before 3:30 a.m. And these early incidents set the stage for what would become a pattern of violence and retribution. V's reputation as a serial killer began to take shape, with each killing adding to the legend. As King Von's reputation in the streets of Chicago grew darker, his alleged involvement in a series of brutal killings continued to fuel the legend of a man feared by many. The next chapter in this grim tale involved the tragic deaths of Modell P5 and Lil James, each incident adding another layer to V's notoriety and solidifying his reputation as a serial killer. On October 13, 2012, Modell, who was Doc's cousin, was walking with his cousin on the south side of Chicago when they were ambushed just before 9:30 p.m. Someone approached them on foot and opened fire. Modell was shot in the chest and later pronounced dead at the hospital. No one was ever charged with this murder or attempted murder. However, many years later, police documents revealed that a witness had positively identified King Vo as the shooter, with Troy also apparently at the scene. This made King Vo the prime suspect in the murder. Additionally, King Von tweeted immediately after the killing. Witnesses claimed that V had a personal vendetta against Modell, driven by a thirst for revenge. The streets buzzed with stories of how V had orchestrated the attack, but fear kept potential witnesses from coming forward. The police investigation stalled, and without concrete evidence, V remained free. The killing of P5, another young man with ties to a rival gang added to the growing list of violent acts allegedly linked to Vow. P5 was gunned down in broad daylight, an audacious attack that left many in the community reeling. The brazenness of the murder only added to the fear and respect V commanded in the streets. Once again, his name surfaced in connection with the crime, but the lack of evidence and the culture of silence allowed him to evade justice. Lil James, another victim in this bloody saga, was a name that resonated with sorrow. Lil James was shot multiple times in a drive-by shooting, an attack that bore the hallmarks of gang-related violence. The pattern of violence seemed unending, with each killing adding to Von's notorious reputation. Eventually, King Vow faced the same fate he had inflicted on others when he chose to feud with Quando Rondo. To be fair, Quando Rondo didn't seek the conflict, but felt he had to do what he had to do. The death of V. The initial points of tension between King Vow and Quando Rondo can be traced back to their affiliations. King Von's close association with Lil Durk and Quando Rondo ties to NBA YoungBoy created an underlying rivalry. The tension between Lil Durk and NBA YoungBoy camps was well known in the industry, and it seemed to spill over to their respective artists in the months leading up to the fatal shooting. There were several documented instances that hinted at the brewing discord. Social media posts and interviews often showed subtle jabs and indirect comments that fueled speculation about a feud. King Vow, known for his outspoken nature, often addressed rumors head in, denying any real beef, but acknowledging the competitive nature of the rap game. Quando Rondo, on the other hand, maintained that he had no personal issues with Vow and was focused on his music. Despite their denials, the tension was very clear. The competitive nature of the industry combined with their affiliations created an environment ripe for conflict. The stage was set for a confrontation that would ultimately have tragic consequences. The night of November 6, 2020 began like any other for King Vow and his crew. They were at the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, a popular spot for nightlife. Meanwhile, Quando Rondo and his entourage were also present at the venue. The atmosphere was charged in tensions were high, though no one could have predicted the tragic events that were about to unfold. As the night progressed, an argument broke out between the two groups. Surveillance footage captured the moment when King Vow approached Quando Rondo outside the nightclub. Without warning, Vow threw the first punch, igniting a violent brawl between the two entourages. The situation quickly spiraled out of control as fists flew and chaos erupted in the midst of the melee. Timothy L. Tim Leaks, a close associate of Quando Rondo, allegedly pulled out a gun. Shots rang out and King Von was struck multiple times. The scene was chaotic, with people scattering in all directions as gunfire echoed through the night. Von's crew attempted to rush him to safety, but the damage had already been done. King Von was critically injured and rushed to a nearby hospital. Despite the efforts of medical personnel, he succumbed to his injuries later that night. Timothy Leaks was arrested at the scene and charged with the murder of King Vow. He was later released on a $100,000 bond, a decision that sparked outrage among Von supporters. Quando Rondo, who was present during the altercation, vehemently denied any involvement in the shooting. Subsequent interviews, he claimed that he did not know King Vow personally and had never had any issues with him. Quando maintained that he and his crew were merely defending themselves during the altercation. He one thing about it, he going to protect me with anything, which anybody should do right. Rumors circulated that Quando Rondo had tried to take King Von's chain after the shooting allegations that Quando strongly denied. He accused people of spreading false information and clout chasing, insisting that no one would be thinking about taking a chain in the middle of a shootout. I'm not even Sean, but a chain man. That when it comes to jewelry, only people with bad intentions, clout chasing and stuff, looking to try to take the chain. A $50,000-$60,000 chain, like it could go by that. That's $50,000-$60,000, like that's not nothing. On the other side, Quando Rondo and his camp faced intense scrutiny and backlash. Many fans and fellow artists held Quando responsible for the events that led to King Von's death. Despite the criticism, Quando remained defiant. In an interview with Angela Yee, he reiterated that he had no personal issues with King Vow and that he was merely defending himself and his crew during the altercation. He maintained that he did not know Vow personally and had never had any words with him. In the weeks following the shooting, Quando Rondo faced significant backlash. Concerts were cancelled, and he received numerous threats. Despite this, he continued to release music and maintain his innocence in a controversial move. Quando gifted Timothy Tim Leaks an expensive watch, which many saw as a sign of loyalty and support. This act further fueled the animosity between the two camps. Me and my twin, wrote Quando Rondo on Instagram stories, accompanying the caption with a photo of two newly purchased watches, one with black details and the other with Blue, he tagged L Tim's Instagram account indicating that the second luxury watch was a gift for the man accused of shooting King Vo. In the comments, some people noted that Lil Durk and Von's team have not retaliated despite expectations. Others speculated that Quando is pampering Tim because he anticipates a strong response from the other side soon. King Von's numerous beef. The initial spark of tension between King Vo and NBA YoungBoy can be traced back to 2019. Rumors began circulating about a possible relationship between King Von and NBA YoungBoy's ex-girlfriend Johnny M's. This speculation alone was enough to ignite a firestorm of controversy. Fans and media outlets quickly picked up on the story, fueling the flames of a potential feud. The first public sign of animosity came when King V posted a video on social media seemingly mocking NBA YoungBoy. In the video, V is seen listening to YoungBoy's music and making sarcastic comments implying that YoungBoy is not as tough as he portrays himself to be. YoungBoy talking about on this song, "Bro, what you talking crazy on his? Oh, he ain't even like that on his. Now cap, you got cap in your rap." This video quickly went viral, and fans of both artists began to take sides, further escalating the tension. NBA YoungBoy did not remain silent. He responded with a series of cryptic posts on social media hinting he had a bone to pick with Vo. The tension between the two rappers continued to build, with both sides exchanging subliminal shots through their music and social media posts. The rivalry was now out in the open, and fans eagerly awaited the next move from both camps as the beef simmered. King Vo was seen hanging out with Johnny M's NBA YoungBoy's ex-girlfriend. Photos and videos of the two together surfaced online, adding more fuel to the fire. Fans and media outlets speculated that King Vo was deliberately trying to provoke NBA YoungBoy by getting close to Jania. This move was seen as a direct challenge to YoungBoy's pride and reputation. In response, NBA YoungBoy released a song titled Dead Trolls, where he seemingly addressed the situation. In the song, he raps about his willingness to go to war with anyone who disrespects him, and many interpret this as a direct threat to King Vo. The lyrics left little to the imagination, with lines like "I see murder in my eyes, put you ain't saying nothing." King Vo, known for his fearless attitude, did not back down. He continued to post videos and messages on social media taunting NBA YoungBoy and his crew. In one video, V is seen with his friends laughing and making jokes about the situation. He even went as far as to challenge YoungBoy to a fight, saying that he was not afraid of him or his threats. As the beef between King Vo and NBA YoungBoy continued to escalate, the tension between the two rappers became more palpable. Their rivalry was no longer confined to subtle jabs and cryptic social media posts. It began to spill over into their music, their crews, and their public personas. "My wife, you talking about my wife inside my house that I pee for her?" He said, "Wife, whatever." One of the most significant events in the escalation of their beef was a series of social media exchanges that left fans buzzing. King Von, known for his fearless and confrontational nature, frequently took to Instagram Live to address the situation. In one memorable instance, V went live with his friends, openly mocking NBA YoungBoy and questioning his street credibility. The video quickly went viral, with fans and media outlets dissecting every word and gesture. NBA YoungBoy, never want to back down from a challenge, responded with his own series of posts. He shared videos and messages that seemed to be directed at King Von, though he never mentioned him by name. In one particularly intense video, YoungBoy is seen surrounded by his crew, sending a clear message that he is ready for any confrontation. The back and forth between the two rappers only served to heighten the anticipation and tension among their fans. The involvement of their respective crews and associates added another layer of complexity to the feud. King Von's close ties to the O-Block neighborhood in Chicago meant that his beef with NBA YoungBoy was not just a personal matter, but a point of pride for his entire community. Members of VS crew, including fellow rapper Lil Durk, were vocal in their support, often taking to social media to back Vo and throw shade at YoungBoy. On the other side, NBA YoungBoy crew, known as the Never Broke Again Collective, was equally vocal in their support. YoungBoy's associates, including rappers like Rondo, frequently posted messages of solidarity and defiance. The rivalry between the two camps became a full-blown war of words, with each side trying to outdo the other in terms of bravado and loyalty. The beef also found its way into their music. Both King Vo and NBA YoungBoy released tracks that seemed to address their ongoing feud. In his song Why He Told, King Vo raps about betrayal, and loyalty themes that many interpreted as a direct response to young boys' perceived slights. The lyrics were raw and unfiltered, reflecting VS real-life experiences and his disdain for those who crossed it. NBA Youngboy, known for his prolific output, also released several tracks that seemed to take aim at King Vo. In songs like Allen and House Arrest, Youngboy lyrics were filled with references to loyalty, betrayal, and street justice. His aggressive delivery and unapologetic attitude left no doubt that he was ready to defend his honor at all costs. As the beef continued to escalate, the stakes grew higher. The involvement of their crews and associates meant that the feud was no longer just about King Vo and NBA Youngboy. It was about their entire support systems and the reputations they had built. The hip-hop community watched closely, knowing that any misstep could lead to real-life consequences. The tension reached a boiling point when rumors began to circulate about a possible confrontation between the two rappers. Fans speculated about when and where the showdown would take place, with some even suggesting that it could happen at an upcoming concert or event. The anticipation was palpable, and the hip-hop world braced itself for what could be a historic clash. Despite the escalating tension, both King Vo and NBA Youngboy continued to focus on their music career. They released new projects, collaborated with other artists, and maintained their presence in the industry. However, the shadow of their beef loomed large, and fans knew that it was only a matter of time before the situation came to a head. But it is not only Youngboy that King Vo had beef with in the rap game. He also had beef with FBG Woy. The rivalry between King Vo and FBG Woy didn't just simmer, it exploded into a series of violent and shocking events that gripped the Chicago drill scene. One of the earliest and most significant events in their rivalry occurred in 2013. King Vo was implicated in the murder of Malcolm Stuckey, a member of the Gangsta Disciples. Although Vo was initially charged with the crime, he was later acquitted due to lack of evidence. This incident not only solidified VS' reputation as a feared figure in the streets, but also intensified the animosity between the Black Disciples and the Gangsta Disciples. The release of King Von's Crazy Story in 2018 marked another turning point. The song's vivid storytelling and references to real-life events caught the attention of many, including his rival. The track was seen as a direct challenge to the Gangsta Disciples, and it didn't take long for FBG Woy to respond. WI's track Computers was filled with direct disses towards Vo and his Ook associates, further stoking the flames of their feud. The violence escalated dramatically on October 2018 during the funeral of Juicy Thalman, a close friend of FBG Whiskey and a fellow Gangsta Disciple. The funeral, held at Bethlehem Star Missionary Baptist Church, turned into a war zone when gunfire erupted. FBG Woy was shot in the head during the chaos, but miraculously survived. This brutal attack at a funeral shocked the community and highlighted the extreme lengths to which this rivalry had escalated. King Von's reaction to the shooting was telling. He took to social media to mock WS injury, posting taunting messages and even referencing the incident in his music. This public display of disdain only served to deepen the hatred between the two factions. The shooting at the funeral was a stark reminder of the real-life consequences of their beef, turning the streets of Chicago into a battleground. Say she love you don't even know more. It's slow. Hey WG, tell why beat his one day. He tell that he did even remember I punched his up in 2019. The release of King Von's took her to the added more fuel to the fire. The song, which became another hit for V, included lyrics that many interpreted as thinly veiled threats towards his rivals. The accompanying music video, filmed in Oblock, featured scenes that glorified gang life and further antagonized the Gangsta Disciples. FBG WK, despite his injuries, continued to release music that directly targeted King Vo and his associates. Tracks like Born and Back from the Dead were filled with aggressive lyrics and references to the ongoing feud. WS' resilience and refusal to back down made him a symbol of defiance for his supporters, but it also made him a prime target for retaliation. That brings us to the end of this video. For more interesting videos like this, click on the cards on your screen.